You're at the airport, your bags are checked, and your passport is in hand. Then the airline agent looks at the screen and says, "I'm sorry, we can't let you on board." Not because your visa, not because of a criminal record, but due to a simple digital document that you didn't know you needed. This situation is happening to most people right now, and in this video, I'll ensure it doesn't happen to you. In the next 8 minutes, I'll break down the difference between the UK eVisa and the ETA and tell you which one applies to you. Here's a simple explanation. The UK previously placed stamps and stickers in your passport to prove your immigration status. Those little visa stickers or BRP cards you carried in your wallet, those are now gone. The UK moved everything online. Your status is stored in a digital system. The airline checked that system before allowing you to board the plane. If there's no digital record linked to your passport, the system says no, and you don't fly. There are two important digital systems, the eVisa and the ETA, but they are not the same thing. One is for people who live in the UK, the other is for people who are visiting. First, let's determine which one applies to you. But before anything else, ask yourself, are you a resident of the UK or a visitor? If you live in the UK on a work visa, student visa, spouse visa, or have indefinite leave to remain, you need an e-visa. If you're visiting the UK for tourism or business for up to 6 months from a country that doesn't require a full visa, you need an ETA. If you hold a British or Irish passport, you need neither. You're already cleared to travel. That's the whole thing. 3 types of people and 3 different answers. Keep this in mind because everything I say next will make perfect sense. Let's start with the ETA, or Electronic Travel Authorization. The first thing to know about the ETA is that it's not a visa. It's more like a hall pass, a digital permission slip that tells the airline, yes, this person is cleared to travel to the UK. Think of it like the American ESTA or the Canadian ETA. The concept is the same. Who needs it? If your passport is from an e-visa exempt country like the US, Canada, Australia, or most of Europe, and you're visiting the UK for up to 6 months, you need an ETA. So how do you get one? There are 2 ways. Download the official UK ETA app from the App Store or Google Play Store, or go directly to the gov.uk website to apply online. Either option works. How much does it cost? £20. That's it. How long does it take? It takes about 10 minutes to fill in the application, and most people receive a decision within minutes. However, it's wise to apply at least 3 days before your flight, just to be safe. How long is it valid? The ETA lasts for 2 years, or until your passport expires, whichever comes first. You can make as many trips as you want during that time. One important note. If you already have a physical visitor visa sticker in your passport, the old kind, you don't need an ETA. It remains valid until it expires. Bottom line for visitors, get your ETA before you travel or book your flight, not after. Securing this for £20 could save your whole trip. Now, let's discuss the e-visa. This is for those who live in the UK. An e-visa is a digital record that confirms your identity, immigration status, and what you are allowed to do in the UK, such as work, study, or rent a home. It replaces the old BRP card. Remember that plastic card? It's now gone. You will need a UK visa and immigration account to access your e-visa. Here's the important part to note. The BRP cards expire on the 31st of December 2024, but your visa did not expire. Just to repeat, your permission to live and work in the UK is still completely valid. The card is gone, but your status remains intact. It's just moved online, and you need to claim it. So, where can you go to do this? Visit gov.uk/eVisa. The service is free to use and free to set up. What do you need to get started? You will need your current passport and either your BRP number or your visa application reference number, sometimes referred to as a GWF or UAN number. You can check any email or letter from the Home Office for this information. If your BRP card has expired, but you still have the physical card, you can use the number on it for up to 18 months after it's expired. One urgent deadline to remember. If your BRP card expired on the 31st of December 2024, you have until the 30th of June 2026 to set up your account. This is coming up soon, so don't delay. There's a special situation to keep in your mind. If your UK settlement is only proven by an old ink stamp in your passport without a BRP card and no digital record, you need to apply for something called a no time limit application. This application is free, but it can take up to 6 months to process, so it's best to start now. To access your eVisa, you must first create and link it to a UKVI account. The service is available to anyone holding a UK visa or settlement status, also known as indefinite leave to remain. It also accommodates diplomats and individuals with the right of abode. Before creating a UKVI account, please check to see if you already have one set up. If you have created a UKVI account but haven't linked it to your eVisa, you can find assistance on the relevant webpage. I will include the link in the description box below. Now, let's go through the steps to set up your UKVI account together. Get your phone and documents ready. You can follow along as I guide you through the process. Before you start, gather these items. First of all, your smartphone. This is essential. You will also need one of the following below if you have them: a valid passport and a BRP number. Make sure it's in date and the one you travel with, or a valid passport and visa application number. This is a global web form, GWF number, or unique application number, UAN. You can find this in any Home Office letter or email, or an expired card, BRP card. You can use it for 18 months after the expiry date printed on the card. Do you have any of these? If you do, let's proceed. Pick up your phone and search for UK Immigration ID Check in the App Store or Google Play Store. This is the government app, so look for the UK Gov branding. Download it and keep it open. You won't use it just yet, but you'll need it in a moment. If you don't have a smartphone or need help about your eVisa or UKVI account, you can get help using the eVisa Digital Assistant or the web chat. I will leave the link in the description box now so you can access it. Open a browser on your smartphone, laptop, or wherever you prefer, and go to www.gov.uk/evisa/setup UKVI account. Click on Create a UKVI account. You will be asked the question: when were you granted your most recent permission to come or stay in the UK? Then you will need to select one of two options shown on the screen. You will need to enter your email address and phone number. Make sure to use one that you always have access to, your personal email and personal number. Avoid using a work email or a temporary phone number. Next, enter your reference number, your BRP number, or your GWF or UAN number. Type it exactly as it appears. You will receive a verification code via text or email. Enter that code, and just like that, you will have created your UKVI account. But we're not finished. The account is just the first step. Now we need to verify your identity. After creating your account, you will receive a link on your phone. Click on it to launch the UK Immigration ID Check app that you've just downloaded. Inside the app, 3 things will happen. First, scan your passport. Hold the photo page flat under good lighting. The app reads the chip. Place your phone against the back cover for a few seconds. If it struggles, try on a different surface with less sunlight. Second, take a picture of your face. Position yourself within the oval guide. Ensure good lighting, look straight at the camera and hold still. Third of all, answer a few questions. This will be standard questions about your criminal record and immigration history. Answer honestly, as this is a legal declaration. Press submit. Most people get verified within minutes, while some may take a few hours. You will receive a confirmation email once it's done. Once you are verified, log back into your UKVI account. You will now be able to see your eVisa, which includes your name, immigration status, visa expiry date, and what you're allowed to do. Check the following 3 things right now. Is your name spelled correctly? Is your date of birth accurate? Does your immigration status match what you were granted? If you find any errors on your details, cannot view your eVisa, generate a share code, or sign in to your UKVI account, report it immediately at www.reporterrorevisa.homeoffice.gov.uk. Please check the description box below for the URL. Small errors can take up to 5 working days to fix, while larger ones may take up to 15 days. Also, confirm that your passport is linked to your account settings. If it's not showing, add it manually. Your passport and eVisa need to be connected, or you won't be able to travel. This is the final step, and you'll use it often in everyday situations. When an employer needs to check your right to work, or a landlord needs to verify your status before renting, you don't hand over a physical document. Instead, you give them a share code. Here is exactly how it gets done. First of all, you log in to your UKVI account and click on View and Prove your immigration status. Second of all, you select the exact reason you need the code. For example, an employer or a landlord. Note, the system generates specific codes for each. Right to work codes start with W and right to rent checks start with an R. The system will generate a unique 9-character code. Give this code and your date of birth to the person checking your status. They will enter it into the official government portal to securely view your real-time status directly from the Home Office. It's as simple as that. Keep in mind, share codes are valid for 90 days. You can use the exact same code multiple times during that window, and you can generate a brand new one whenever you need to. There is no limit. Pro tip, always generate a share code and snap a screenshot or save as a PDF before you travel. While Border Force should see your eVisa digitally when scanning your passport, having a live share code on hand is the ultimate safety net if you ever have a system glitch at the airport. Here are some of the common mistakes that people make, and now that you're informed, you won't fall into those traps. Mistake number 1, forgetting to update the UKVI after getting a new passport. Your eVisa is linked to your passport number. If you get a new passport with a different number and don't update your UKVI account, the airline won't see your information and you may be denied boarding. Update your account the same day your new passport arrives. Mistake number 2, losing access to your registered email or phone number. Your email and phone number are essential for accessing your account. If these change, make sure to update UKVI immediately before you lose access to your old details. Recovering a locked account can be lengthy and stressful. Mistake number 3, creating a duplicate account. If you have ever applied for a visa, participated in EU settlement schemes, or used the ID Check app, you most likely already have a UKVI account. Before creating a new one, search through your inbox for any old UKVI emails. Duplicate accounts can create serious issues that are difficult to resolve. Let's summarize everything. If you're visiting the UK from a visa-exempt country, remember to get your ETA. It's £20 and you can do this through gov.uk or the ETA app. Make sure you complete this before booking your flights. If you're flying into the UK on a visa or have indefinite leave to remain, visit gov.uk/eVisa. Set up your UKVI account, link your passport, check your eVisa, and obtain your share code. Remember, the deadline for those with biometrics residence permits or BRP cards that expire in December 2024 is the 30th of June 2026. Not sure which situation applies to you? Leave your circumstances in the comments below. Let me know your visa type, nationality, and destination, and I'll provide you with the information that you need. You can find more information on our website or contact us via the link on the screen now to discuss your circumstances confidentially. And if this video has been helpful to you, please consider sharing it with friends, family, or colleagues. This is the kind of information people often overlook until it's too late. Now that you know it, pass it on. Subscribe for more UK immigration updates. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.